that they're born, they might be born in the wrong.
And you know what? You guys aren't even caring about the children that want these things.
Parents these days are angry. Everyone knows this. Even if you don't know personally a parent of someone who is in grade school, you know the parents are angry. You've seen it. These particular parents are angry and showed up at a school board meeting because the school decided to raise an LGBTQ flag on the property. Now, it would be really easy for me to write these parents off as hateful, fanatic lunatics who are angry about a flag of acceptance being raised on the property. But that's not what I want to do. I studied cults in my grad program. I studied cults. I studied indoctrination. I studied the language of cults. And I think it would be an incredible disservice for me to not discuss why these parents are so angry and what made them come to this school board meeting and protest. If you think this massive mob of parents, all of them, are just born hateful, you'd be wrong. They were taught. That mass amount of people, occasionally there's a person who's born, you could argue, hateful. This many people, this is taught. This is indoctrination from our current media.
I heard that at least one of our schools in our town has in one of the unisex bathrooms, a litter box for the kids that identify as cats.
They think they're a cat. A cat. They put tails on and they demand that they have a litter box in the school.
Obviously, it's very disruptive to the learning process.
Remember the whole litter box fiasco when one person spread a rumor that a school in Michigan was providing litter boxes for their students who identified as cats to go to the bathroom in? Yeah, me too. And the fact that a bunch of people believed it, people still believe it, despite the fact that when you Google it, it's all articles about how it's been debunked and it was a huge rumor. Lies and fear-mongering about unsanitary conditions in schools and mental health declination in our kids. Which is funny because there is actually mental health declination in our kids when it comes to anxiety and depression, but no one really wants to address that on the right. Not to mention when something like this happens, it almost always just gets grouped in with the LGBTQ community. Kids going to the bathroom in litter boxes, that's the fault of the gays and the trans people.
Yes, especially when you see how they're all dressed and they look. I mean, when I went to school, teachers, they all look like librarians, and now they look like drug addicts and carnies.
I've come to the conclusion that liberals just aren't that interested in advocating policies that improve the lives of Americans. But what they do want, and it's part of the Obama legacy, is a constant state of protest and agitation.
And it's just, but it's part and parcel with the overall issue, which is the total moral anarchy in the public school system.
A resistance force-fed to them in their high school and college years. And now professors themselves are nurturing the next generation of revolutionaries.
And also the fact that it's overrun by these leftist radicals, because guess what? You know, when you look at the stuff happening on college campuses and all the crazy Marxist students and everything, and we like to console ourselves and say, well, they'll get into the real world and they'll change. No, they get into the real world and they become teachers.
At many colleges, students are now expected to skip class to attend social justice rallies.
Indoctrination works like this. They give you something to fear. Whether it's real or not, it is something to fear, and it's something that preys deep inside of you. Coming after your kids. They're coming to ruin your kids. They're coming to steal your kids. They give you something to fight against. The gays, the radical lefts, are coming to take your kids. And they give you something to fight for, to almost become a martyr for. We must, for the greater good, defeat these leftists who are trying to come after our kids. That's how it works. Then they lump it into every single aspect of the conversation.
But it is happening in New York. Schools are already choosing to not serve meat on Mondays and Fridays. You want a chicken patty? Nope. Instead, have some cauliflower instead.
Energy. I think the answer is obvious, but we have a president. He said this: the single existential threat to the world is climate change. This is where this guy's head's at. I could think of a few others, like you won't harden our schools,
I think I know
so
where
our
his
kids
head's really
are
at.
literally vulnerable.
The average parent is constantly being bombarded with this messaging. And a lot of you watching this video right now are well-versed in news and politics and the media, and most people aren't. I know all of this because it's my job to know this. This is what I do for my work. People go to work and they come home and they spend time with their kids, or they're doing projects around the house, or they're going out, taking their kids to a movie. They're not spending all their free time researching endlessly why they're being lied to, how they're being lied to by the media. Does this make their behavior and hate acceptable? No. No, it does not. Everyone has a choice, and they chose hate. But it does make it understandable. And I think the more we can attempt to understand each other, the better off we will be in the future. We need to have understanding and even just a little bit of grace for each other. Thank you so much for watching. If you got something out of this video, please hit the like button. It tells YouTube to share this video with other people. Consider subscribing to The Breakdown for more content like this, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.